I'm going to show you guys an old Italian dish. Some Italians say it different. My mother always called it spaghetti aglio. But then in my house, don't go by that. My mother used to tell my father he don't know how to speak Italian, and he used to tell my mother she don't know how to speak Italian. So I know it as spaghetti aglio. Basically, it's olive oil and garlic, and just like in the Goodfellas, you try to cut that garlic as thin as possible. Okay, where it melts almost in that oil. And this is the dish that we Italians use as medicine. Every Italian, when they're sick, when they have a cold, they'll make this spaghetti aglio. Okay, and it's so simple. All you have to do is fry up the garlic and then put a tall glass of water in it with your seasonings that I'm going to put in, and you boil your pound of pasta and you just throw this on the pasta. Now it's supposed to be kind of like a wet dish, so what you do is the amount of water you put in can't hurt it, and instead of a flat dish, we usually eat it in a bowl. And I had some rosemary, some oregano, some basil, and you just put all that in there, and you bring that up to a fry, and basically you're going to put about this much water. So once my garlic gets all brown in there, you know, just before it burns, really. I never understood when they say, oh, don't let the garlic brown or whatever. Let me tell you something. Ain't no rule. It's to your taste. I like my garlic just as it's starting to get a little brown. So don't believe in all that stuff that you hear. It's just total nonsense. Cooking is to one's own taste. So basically, I'm frying this up. You'll see it. Get all those seasonings together. And this has always been our medicine dish. This is what I eat whenever I feel a cold coming on. I make a pound of this. And preferably, if you have like Italian bread or Cuban bread or any bread, you dip it in the juice while you're eating it, and it's so good. That's why we eat this in a bowl instead of a plate, because you always gonna dunk bread in it. It used to be a poor man's dish, so the bread is what used to make them full, technically, right? So the bread, anything with bread, right, gets you more full. But ever since this coronavirus, what I've also been doing, I've been taking 1/3 of a piece of garlic raw, and you keep it in your mouth and you bite on it gently, and you feel the burn in your tongue. And garlic is known to kill some viruses. I'm not saying it kills the coronavirus, but it's known to kill some viruses that linger in your throat, and you can feel it burn. Now, what I've noticed is if you freeze the garlic and you do that, and I've been doing that once a day now, having 1/3 of a piece of garlic every single day, and you don't eat it right away, you just suck on it, and you feel it. You feel the burn all over your tongue and stuff, and you just suck on it like a hard candy. But I've noticed that if you freeze the garlic versus keeping it in the fridge, it has less of a burn. So I think you lose something if you freeze it. We Italians, sometimes I do, I freeze the already peeled garlic so that it lasts longer. And when you fry it, the oil brings the garlic back to life. But I think for doing it as for colds and stuff, I think it loses some of the power. All right, so you see the garlic is just now starting to get that little brown edge, right? So this is where we throw in the water. That's enough. What you do is you bring this for a boil. Boil it for like about 5 minutes. And that's all. Put your salt and pepper in. Throw it over your spaghetti. Eat it in a bowl. And this is a poor man's dish, a medicine dish, and it'll fill your family up.